because I had been working in these different places and I had faced discrimination. But the discrimination was just, I mean, it was playful at worst. It was just like, hey man, because we can do this, we're gonna do this, and it's nothing personal, but that's just how we are. We can do that right now, and that's what we're gonna do. And so I was like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? And I was tripping out because um, the people didn't want me there or whatever. And so I was like, darn. But after a while, you don't you don't get mad at the people. After a while, you don't get mad. You accept what's going on and you make the most of it, the best of it. But because I was virtually forced to work in this manner, I wasn't literally forced, but it was just like if you don't want to face the little shit that you're dealing with, try something else. Try a different approach. Maybe working online is truly for you. So I started doing that, started seeking out with earnest desire to actually be able to make a living, not just get some work done, but actually make a living. That's what I wanted, to actually make a living doing this. Not just working a little bit, but actually make a living. So I found these different things that worked, and um, I'm sharing them with you. So the biggest thing is to be consistent. That's the biggest thing. It's gonna take at least a week. If you came on hard times today, you have an internet connection that's consistent, and you're down to work. By the end of the week, you can have some money. But by today, you're not gonna have no money until maybe tomorrow morning. So if you need the money this afternoon, and you just got, you can come up maybe $10, but by tomorrow you can have maybe 20 or $30. By the following day, you can have maybe 40 or $50. By the following day, you can have maybe 60 or $70. By the following day, you can have maybe 80 or $90. The following day, you can have maybe 100. So it's taking about 7 days. In the 7 days, you can have $100 at the very least working online in 7 days. It's not a lot, but it's something. It'll put food on the table. It'll be beans and rice, but you'll eat. You know what I'm saying? And if you really want to go out there and work, you can find your job. If you want to explore more, you can build a website and explore the online world. All you need is a website to participate, a place for people to link back to. And then you can start exploring the internet world and see what money is there for you. Because as long as you have a house, it's like having a house. If you have a house that I can come visit, then you can come visit my house. A lot of times you go visit someone's house, but you don't have nowhere for them to visit. So you can't really get deep off into what they're doing because after a while, you don't have nothing to offer them. You don't have nothing to give them. You're just like, I'm coming over here, I'm using everything, and then I'm leaving, and I'm not giving you nothing. Thanks. So what do you think God is going to do? What do you think the Lord is going to do if you do that? I'm going to go visit this person's house. I'm not going to give them nothing. I'm just going to go visit, take everything I want, and then leave. And I'm not going to give them back anything. So how do you think the Lord is going to bless you? He's going to bless you just like that. You're going to get a blessing, and that's it. You're not going to get nothing else from the internet. So, but if you have a house, you have your own site, you say, okay, I'm visiting everything. By the way, come visit my site and do the same thing. You can use my resources and go about your business too. So once you do that, listen to me. Once you do that, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But once you do that, you're gonna start seeing results. You're gonna start seeing that people visit your site, you're gonna start seeing that people click on your ads. You're gonna start seeing that you're earning some money. You're gonna look at your assets, and you're gonna go from $1 something in there to two something in there, to five something in there, to 10 something, to $50, to $150, $300, $800, $1,000. You're gonna see people visit you and go see what you're talking about because you're visiting them and you're leaving the link. Amen. That's the key important ingredient is to leave the link. Leave the link. If you don't leave the link, then I don't know that we're linked. I don't know. You see what I'm saying? You gotta leave the link. You use detergent, use baking soda, leave the link. Always leave the link. Always be funny. Leave the link. If I wasn't supposed to be here, I guarantee you I wouldn't be here. Promise you I wouldn't be here if I was supposed to be here. If I wasn't supposed to be in this building, if I wasn't supposed to be here right now, I promise you I would not be here. I promise you. Because there's nothing I've done that's so majestic and mighty to where I gotta be here. It's the Lord. The Lord has done it all. I'm just enjoying what the Lord has done. My favorite sneakers, tennis shoes is, you know how the alligator, the shirts with the alligator on there? Well, that same company makes tennis shoes. And those particular tennis shoes, I used to work in those shoes. They were so good. And they're expensive. They're like 60. A used pair was like $60. A used pair was about $60. And that's what I bought. I bought a used pair, dog, for $60. It was, and they were worth it. They were worth every penny. The problem is they got ruined, so I had to throw them out. You're doing this, you're going to encounter something called qualifiers. Qualifiers are basically to see if you're a match for the information they need. Once they discover you're a match, you'll go into the survey and you'll earn your money. But you're going to go through rounds of qualifiers until you get some experience with it. Tell the truth. Don't be lying on here. Tell the truth. You can be creative about telling the truth. You can say, well, if they say, do you work in a particular industry, you can be creative by your answer. You're not going to get zapped too hard for that. But it's best to tell the truth. Because as you accumulate experience, it's like a video game, dog. As you accumulate experience, you're going to get better results. You're going to get things that are easier to do. I remember I did one, it was like 3 questions, and I got 20 points. And it took me maybe 5 or 6 seconds to do that one. So just imagine you get an hour worth of ones that are taking you 5 or 6 seconds to do. You see what I'm saying? You have a whole hour where you're getting ones, and they're all taking you 5 or 6 seconds. And they're all like 10, 15, 20, 50. One of them was like 40. One of them was 60 points one time. So, you see what I'm saying? 60 points, 80 points, 100 points. And next thing you know, you're cashing out. So, that's all you need to do is cash out all day. All day long, cash out. And it's fun. It's very fun. But you got to get good at it. I write jokes. I wake up about 4. In the beginning, I used to wake up around 7. When the sun got up, that's when I got up. So I used to wake up around 7. If someone was up and they got me up, then that means I would wake up around 6, 6:37. So about 7 o'clock, I was up. 7 o'clock, and from 7 to about 9 or 10 the following day. So, 7 until about 10. That's when I would work All day long you're working. But at the end of the day, you might have, $20, $30, and you didn't go anywhere. That was the biggest thing that drew me, is that I could just I could lay here and then stand here and then sit here and just tend to the building and just be here. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have to spend any money going anywhere. I didn't have to spend any time in the street. No, I didn't mind. I enjoyed traveling. I definitely enjoyed going out and going anywhere. I enjoyed myself. But it was better if I didn't have to go out. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have to go out, I could just get up and just do that. And it was like, why don't you want to go out? So, okay, let's say I had a house full of children, right? Now, would it be better if both their parents were there or just their mom? You see what I'm saying? It'd be better if both of them were there. I'm there. I'm in another room. I'm not right in front of you every second. No, I'm in the other room. Your mother's working on the phone, and I'm working on the computer. And we're sitting here generating money for this house. And we work between 8, 7 in the morning to about 10 in the morning. Then your mother takes a break. I keep going, obviously, and until about 1 o'clock. Then we relax, we both eat, and then wait until you get out of school, and then we come get you. You know what I'm saying? Then when you get home, make sure you get your homework and everything, and then you see I'm back on the computer. And that's what you have seen for the last 15 years. And every bill has been paid. Everything that we need is fulfilled. We've gone on vacations. We've done things because I invested time in learning this. I also invested in cryptocurrency. I also have investments in stock, in addition to a savings, in addition to these I'm doing. So you have these 4 or 5 things that I'm personally doing that is generating more than $2,000 a month here, generating about anywhere between $2,500 and $3,000 a month, just doing what I'm doing. And I'm not working all day. I'm available to work all day, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Those are the work hours. I can work in my pajamas. I can work naked. I work in my drawers. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I want, as long as I'm there to push the buttons, I'll get paid. That's better to me than going out. You see what I'm saying? I can stay in and earn just like you go out and earn. You earn more. That's what you get for going out. Okay? You always earn more for going out because you're putting your life at risk. You see what I'm saying? And for that risk, you're going to get paid more. I'm taking less risk and getting paid less. But that's okay at this point in my life. When I was young, when I was a kid, it wouldn't have made sense to stay in all day and not go nowhere. But now, when you get in your 30s, you can settle down and stay put. You still go out and do things exciting, but you also stay in and you don't go out all the time. So that was better for me because of I was always asked to help. At least once a day, someone is asking me to help them. At least once a day. So because I enjoy helping, I have basically made it my job. Say, well, I'll be here to help you. And now I'm able to because I can earn a living while I'm here. So I'm not just here and just being lazy and just not wanting to work. Is I can work from here. And trust and believe, anyone that has worked with me will tell you how lazy I am. They will let you know. So this is the way for me. But it's a constant, every single day, you have to sell yourself on this because it's so unconventional. And it's like a pioneering model because this model wasn't available 10 years ago. What I'm doing right now, 10 years ago, it would have been like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But today, it's like, well, I hope it works out for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. Praise the Lord. This might, this is right. Might really help you out. You got to sell yourself on this every single day that, hey man, this is the best thing to do, because you're going to question yourself and say, well, why am I doing this? Is this right? What I'm doing? And it's okay to question yourself. It's okay to have questions. It's okay to wonder. It's okay to think that maybe you need to figure out another way. But the only other way is to get better at what you're doing. You can't turn back. Can we go back to Wednesday? I can't go back. I got to stay with this. Now, it's an easy sell because every single day something is happening. I'm putting money in there every single day. It's not as if I'm not putting any money, but the amount of money and how much you get is going to be based on, because when you're 42, it's like you're young, but you're old. You see what I'm saying? In one sense, like if you went to a middle school, they would throw you in jail. You see what I'm saying? You're 42 years old. What are you doing here? Unless these are one of your kids to pick up. You see what I'm saying? If you went to Chuck E. Cheese and jumped in the balls, they would throw you out of Chuck E. Cheese because you're 42 years old and his kids playing these balls. You know what I'm saying? So that's the whole point. Is you get a certain age, you get 42 years old. That's old enough, like your mental age or whatever they say. That's old enough there. At 42, at 32, no, you're still a kid at 32. At 34, you're a man. In just 2 years, you're a man. You go from being a kid to a straight man in 2 years. 34 years old, you're a man. You know better. You've done better. You know what mistakes are. You know what to avoid. You praise the Lord at 34. No one, you're not good at it, but you're doing it. Amen. When you get 44, you're a master. You know life very well. And then by the time you get 50 something, it goes back to something like, well, where am I? You know what I'm saying? But for that little time between 42 and 50, you know your shit. You're 100% that time. If you make it to 42, you got a house, you got a car, you got kids, you got money, you got bills paid. You're doing good. You smell good, you look good, you feel good, you drive good, you eat good, you sleep good, you screw good. Everything at 42, you do everything good, everything good. But start getting around 50 something, you can go back to 18, 19. Huh? You know, there's gonna be some new shit out. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some new equipment available you can get your hands on and that you can live life with. You're not gonna have no idea why. You're gonna say, what? How do I even approach this? And next thing you know, you're gonna be like, huh? you, you're gonna try to learn, and the only thing that's gonna save you is your kids. Kids are gonna save you. You got kids? Oh man, you know what I mean? You got kids. I don't have time for all this other shit. I got kids. I got children. And your kids are gonna save you from the world because the world is gonna be like, what are you doing here? And you're gonna be like, excuse me. The world's gonna be like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? I'm raising these kids. Oh, okay. And that's it. Now, if you're not raising these kids and you're in your 40s, the world's gonna say, okay, we're gonna put a machine on you. We're gonna throw shit at you every single day until you get some kids or you get out of here. One or the other. And there you go at age 42. But have some kids. I pray you have children. But you need to raise those kids in a stable environment. Your environment is not stable. This is stable for you because of the Lord and because of their generosity, number one. Aside from the Lord, these people being generous. But if it wasn't for that, you wouldn't even be here. So you have to learn how to build stability. You found the way. You're using the way right now. But you have to master it to where you can afford to live it. On my hip, on my pocket, is going to be the device I use for everything else you see. When you see me jump out of the car, get out of the car, and get the kids or whatever and say, let's go, inside here is because I use this device that my mother gave me and I learned how to use. It's all in the palm of your hand. You don't have to go nowhere no more. You have to get on this device and you have to work. So when your kids are in school, it might be a scene where you could be right there next to them working. They're working on their schoolwork and you're right there working. And it'll be like, when you get older, I'll show you how to do this. And when you see people like this, it's probably because they're earning money. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's earning a living. And a good living, doing this is like $300 a week, $300, $400. If you really get down, you can make like $700, $800 a week doing it. There's people driving nice cars, but they work on their phone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, they're hanging out with people and everything, and they're like, well, I got to go to work. Like, where are you going? You work on your phone? It's like, yeah, I work on my phone. And it's like embarrassing because, these other guys, they do all this hardcore thing, and the women like the guys that do the hardcore jobs. And dudes on the phone is regular. So, and he works on this one program that's like you see what I'm saying? We're almost there. We're not there just yet, but we're going to be there quick. And what I'm doing right now, everybody's going to be doing this in like 5 years. Everybody's going to be doing this. Everybody's going to be making some money. It's like, oh, you ain't got no money? It's like, oh, man, I go over here. Like, yes, man, I work on there from like 7 to like 3 every day. And then I go to bed and we get up for school. He says, at the end of the week, I got like $200. What? 200? Yeah, $200, dog. Just from those few hours. What are you doing? Oh, man, it's gonna be people working. They're gonna be having some money. They're gonna be having some money, dog. One thing about language is that when you know what each of these words mean, you know how much to measure out. So the reason all the words are written is so that you know how much to measure out. This began with the word I. So if you know what I means, you can graduate to the next word, I have. So if you know what I have means, and that's enough for you, then you can answer the question. You gotta, if they just told you don't do that, you wouldn't be able to do that anymore. But then if they told you not to do that, then that means that your days would be numbered here. It would be basically like, you know, obviously you're going to need to do that from time to time. So what we're telling you is you can't be here. That's what we're telling you. So we're saying, hey, don't do that here because that means that you can't be here. You need to, at some point, you're going to need to do that. So, and the reason they don't and can't tell you that, it's not that they can't. It's in their heart not to say that. But another reason that they wouldn't say that is because there's a bathroom. And you can go in the bathroom and relieve yourself. It's just that you would be in the bathroom. You see what I'm saying? So, no one can tell you don't relieve yourself. You know what I mean? Because we relieve ourselves. So, they could. You could say, well, you can't be here. You got to get out of here. And there's nothing you could do. You couldn't be seen here. You couldn't be here. So, I think that's what Reverend Brown's working on now. But you know, I don't want to fight anybody or battle anyone to be someone because the law has not changed. It's from the same element. If it's not yours, you can't fight for something that isn't yours. I'm not fighting for this building. I'm talking about the people, dog. The building is the building, dog, but the people and what they have done for me, I'll stand up, stick up for the people because they have helped, not the building. You know what I'm saying? The people. The building is cool, but the people. And is the building the reason? Well, it's hard to say because if I would have met those people outside of this building, the result might be the same. I might really feel strongly connected or appreciative of these people. I might feel they're relatable to me. You know, so it's another family, but it's very closely related. It's like out of the Bible, this. And, you know, those people were sent here. The Lord sent them here. Because look how many years later and they're still here. See what I'm saying? If it was wrong, they definitely wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? If it was wrong. And that's the thing about Reverend Brown as well, is that if it was wrong, dog, you know what I mean? They wouldn't, I wouldn't be here. I'll put it this way. If it was wrong for me to be here, I wouldn't be here. If it's wrong for them, because they work hard. And I'm thinking if they continue to work hard all the days, then I don't see why they couldn't succeed. But, if they get here, settle in, and then slack off, how are they going to stay? You know what I'm saying? How's it going to work? Me, I could just be here, dog, and it's correct. But guess what, dog? I can't, put posters of myself on the wall and put my shoes in the hallway. I can't do that. You know what I mean? I could just kind of like creep in here. You know what I mean? And just be like right here. But I can't be, I can't take over nothing. You see what I'm saying? And that's the whole point. I can serve here, but I can't take over. Let me see if I'll get. I'm not expecting to get this one. Expecting it. always wanted to be like, I was like Eddie Murphy type, and Eddie Murphy was like the Michael Jordan of comedy. You knew it was funny, you knew it was good, and it was just no way you could mess that up. Eddie Murphy was literally the best in comedy when I was a kid. Eddie Murphy was you couldn't in '85. Oh no, you could never touch Eddie Murphy. From '85 to like '92, '90 when I was a little boy, Eddie Murphy was the king of stage. There was nobody better on TV, on the stage, in a movie than Eddie Murphy. I always wanted to be like that. So fast forward, I'm 32 and I'm doing open mics for free. But I have a scheme. I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna hit it big doing these open mics because I'm gonna film it. That was the saving grace that you could record it. As long as you can record it, then you can put it online for everybody to see. No one could tell you, oh, well, that's just, I'm not gonna go see that. It's like you're not gonna go see that. It's gonna come to you then. You just press play. And so people started watching these videos and crying, dog. And this dude asked me, he says, "Do you sell these videos?" I said, "I have a DVD on my website." He goes to the website, they buy it. They buy them, dog. And then I start putting out albums that come with the DVD. I was like, this album comes with, Jules McClendon Comedy 3 or whatever, or Comedy Touch 3. And Comedy Touch is like Comic View. It's like Comic View, but it's all the people that come to. It's like Comic View, but it's new. It's called Comedy Touch because when I was little, Monet used to say all the time. She used to say, "You're touched," and yeah, I know the shit out of her. She's married now. She's married. She's kids or whatever. She's married, and I know the shit. I still do, but I mean, nothing can ever happen. You know what I'm saying? No. Brenda, the same thing. I was with Brenda for a while. It didn't work out. You know what I mean? It worked out, but it didn't work out. She told me to move on, and she said if I come around there, she's gonna put a restraining order. That's what she told me. If somebody tells you that, I don't care what the reason is. You leave them alone. It don't mean you know, love them. Just you don't be going over there. You don't be trying to. You don't do that. And I did. And I went over there. I went over there a couple times. One time I went over there with a ring. Another time I went over there. It was just bad, dude. Because it just made me look like I was a creep. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just a weirdo. You know what I mean? Like I didn't belong there, and I wanted to be there. When I was there, I was miserable. I didn't want to be there. I was like, man, this sucks, dude. That I have to come home to this every single day. But maybe it could get better. You see what I'm saying? That's why. It wasn't because I didn't have nowhere else to go. I could have slept in the street. It was because maybe it could have got better. That's what I was hoping is that maybe this will get better. Maybe this will get better. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was hoping. Maybe this will get better. Maybe. Maybe. Never did. It got a little better, but then other people came in and like squashed that. They're like, no, no, no. And she went with that. So what was she supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any money. I wasn't paying for it. If I was paying the rent there, I'd still be there. If I was paying the rent, I would still be living there. Now, if she would have tried to, you know what I'm saying? There's no way in the world. I would have vanished. I would have vanished, nigga. I would, excuse my language, I would have never, you would have never heard or seen me ever again in life. I would have just straight vanished. Maybe that's what she should have did, because in that way, you know, it would be a different story today. Be a way different story. It'd be like, no, you know what I mean? But didn't happen like that. Yeah, man. If you're in a bad situation, man, just vanish, dog. I did that. I was on a job. In the job, they were calling me like once every couple of weeks, and they were basically telling me, we don't want to fire, we don't want you here, but we don't want to fire you. I don't want to just throw you out there like that, but I don't need you here no more. So I'm gonna call you like once every couple of weeks. Who eats a sandwich every 2 weeks, dog? So I just vanished, dog. I was just like, why even come in? Why even go through that? Why even go through all that where you telling me you don't need me here anymore? You know what I'm saying? Let me just leave. Let me save myself because you don't understand. I have to get on the train. I have to get on the bus. I have to get on the metro. I have to walk. I have to do different things to get here. And you have convinced yourself that these are all small things. All walking all these miles to get here is not a big deal. Taking the bus from over here to over here, that's not a big deal. Putting yourself in harm's way daily is not a big deal. You know what I'm saying? To come here for any reason. So it started off as a favor. So I didn't want to complicate it by getting professional about it. Just vanish. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna not be friends. I'm definitely not gonna not love you. But I don't want you to feel pressured to be professional with me about this. This is your job. You know what I'm saying? I came in here just to help and dick around for a while and leave. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't come here to uh, like try to work up to manager. I didn't come here for that. I just came here to help and see if I could help. So you're telling me, hey, we don't need you here anymore in that capacity? That's fine. It doesn't mean that we won't be friends, or it doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It just means that you don't need me here, and that's what happened. So I got there, but I didn't stay because it wasn't working out. Who could work it? I started working at Fox. I started working at Fox, man. And then Fox didn't hire me, and so I came back to work like okay, let's see what else comes up. You know what I'm saying? That's how I was coming, right? And that's how I am. So I was like this then. It was like, okay, let me stay. The same thing with this. Let me just keep working on this to see what comes up. And look what came up. You see what I'm saying? So, but you stabilize yourself and then you start responding to the environment. But you have to stabilize yourself first to be able to respond. You can't just come in and say, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? And then you don't have no shoes on. So it doesn't make sense. You have to stabilize yourself and then. So that's what happened. Fox, it didn't work out. Oh, dang, game over. Let's try and continue. I came there, you know, getting ready to do the same thing. Okay, let's, and they're like, less hours, and it just, that was it. So, but vanish, dog, if it's not working out for you. If it isn't working out, just vanish. Why even take another second and go through any formalities like I'm putting in my letter of resignation, all this stuff? Don't put in shit, dude. Just walk off and just be gone. Period. You can leave a note on the table. You can make a phone call and say thank you. I'm not ever coming back in, and just hang the phone up and let them build your reputation because they will. They'll say, oh, man, this sorry ass dude. He came in here. He said he's not coming back, and blah blah blah. And why you hire you? And let them, because that's deep down what they have to say about you anyway. All right, because if you were a good man and you just vanished like that, they would say he was a good man, but one day he just vanished. That's all they will say. All these other things, they won't have to say. They won't have any of that other stuff to say at all. You see what I'm saying? You have to learn people. I went to school for this. I know people very well. But I also know people well enough to know you don't know very much about people. You see what I'm saying? You only know about social patterns that are common and that become average. What patterns become average and what patterns become outliers. It's like a parabola and a bell curve, rather. I think it's about to say the bell curve, which is like a parabola. So you have outliers that are on the opposite sides. Okay, on the left side is way out in the end is these are certain people. Way out on the other end on the right side is certain people. So in the middle is the average. So what actions are average? What things happen regularly? You see what I'm saying? And you discover the regular behaviors cause more people to gather. So the more regular you are in your behavior, the more people will show up in that area. It can be anywhere. If I start smoking cigarettes in this room, within 6 months there will be 2 people in here smoking cigarettes. If I start smoking cigarettes in this room, I'm not going to start smoking cigarettes in this room, but if I did, that behavior is so common that another person would come here. It just naturally would happen. Somebody would walk up here and say, "Oh," and then they would come in here and start talking in this room, start hanging out in this room. Next thing you know, a lot of people are coming up here, hanging out in this room. And, one day somebody brings a pack of cigarettes up here. They open the window, they light the cigarette up. You know what I'm saying? And they laugh, say, "Oh, put that out. You don't want the smoke to get down." The smoke gets down. They find out, they talk to the guy, don't smoke upstairs. After a couple of years, people smoke upstairs. So, well, if you want to smoke and you don't want to leave the premises, just go upstairs, open the window. Or what. You see what I'm saying? And people would be in here because I started smoking cigarettes in here. All right? It just that would happen. And that's nature. That's nature. That's why buildings are here. Because one person put a building, amen? Praise the Lord. And another person put a building next to it. All right? That's how we are. So, you know what I mean? I'm only here because they're kind. But if something isn't working out for you, vanish, dog. Just vanish. Don't don't uh don't be formal anymore. Watch this. You have to find out it's really not working out for me. You see what I'm saying? Don't just lie and say I'm lazy, I don't want to work. Don't just get mad one day and say, screw everybody here. Really give it some time. Give it like 10 good times. You have 10 tries. After 10 things happen, get out of there. Don't even come back. After 10 things happen, one thing, oh, 2 things, man, 3 things, this can't be happening. But 4 through 10 is all because you didn't listen and you wanted to be there. Now, if you want to be there, that's the main thing. You want to be there. Now, it can't be wrong if you want to be there because you will soon learn if you need to be there. You see what I'm saying? Because you want to stay. So, that's what I'm saying. You got to make sure you need to be there. Okay? This is another work option. I would suggest from now on, you look to working online as your primary source of income. You say, I'm going to try to work online now. And if I'm not working online now, I'm going to slowly transition to working online. Because that's where it's going. Okay? Might not get it. So all the questions are answered. Sometimes you won't get it. I got to the end. Don't be afraid to get out of it. You say, "Oh, I missed out." But did you really do your best on that one? No, you didn't do your best on that. And if you would have got paid for not doing your best, you know, this forces you to do your best. You know, who's gonna relieve me? Who's gonna give me a lunch break? Who's gonna, buy me something? Nobody's gonna do nothing for me. I gotta sit here and do this. So after a couple of weeks, a couple of months, your character's gonna change quick because you're gonna know it's all on you, and you're gonna know you can do it. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna have a confidence. You're gonna know that you have a confidence about yourself. You're gonna know that you don't you don't stop unless you have to stop. But no one can stop you. No one can say you're not gonna you're not gonna win. No one can say that. It's even worse, man. Online is uncensored, dude. Nobody can stop you online. People come at you any kind of way, dude. Online, at least in person, they give you like a chance and you can talk it out. Or online, they just throw it up there, dude. Just like, and it's there, dude. You can't take it down. You can copy it and you can modify it, but you cannot take it down. You know? Can't nobody just come along and take your website down. No one can do that. You know what I'm saying? No one can do that. They have special equipment to make sure that never happens. And then you discover the people who just they want to do that. You see what I'm saying? That's why they're working, and you've been working with them the whole time. You see what I'm saying? Everyone is not like that. And you've been working in a world where those are the only people that are working. Now, that must mean that every man is like that to some degree. Because in the very beginning, there was no internet on the first day of life on earth. So the work that we had to do, working with our hands and being diligent and toiling, that's the ground root. You never look down on that. You appreciate that, which is why they get paid more. You see what I'm saying? But you can still do this kind of work, which came later, and is still important. Now, I think they overinflated it. They made it to where this kind of work pays you much more than the work that is necessary for us to live. But there's nothing to argue against because you can go and make your own money too. You see what I'm saying? So you don't have to argue against other ways of living or other ways of earning. But yeah, yeah.